Quick little video today on how to adjust a 3 PICT3, an EMPI 3 PICT3 carburetor. This carburetor has a couple of adjustment screws. You have the volume screw, which is this one little tiny one down here. Let's see if I can get a better look. The volume is on the bottom and the bypass is on the top. Think of the volume as metering fuel and the bypass as metering air. So let's go ahead and get started with this. The first thing that you need to do when you start with one of these is you want to take that volume screw, the bottom one, and screw it all the way in. And then just gently, you don't want to go too far because you don't want to create grooves in the jet. But you're going to screw it all the way in and then screw it back exactly 2.5 turns from wherever it is when you screw it in. Now I have a perfect little screw. These are the tools that you'll need for this job. A screwdriver that's small enough for that volume screw, and a touchless tachometer. Now you might have another tachometer that you can plug in on the distributor, but this is a nifty little device I just picked up specifically for this job. So let's go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and tighten that in, and then we're going to back it out. That volume screw, going to back it out 2.5 turns. Okay, that's all the way in, just gently until you find it. So this will be 0. That's a half. That's 1, a half, 2, and then another half. All right, 2.5 turns. All right, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and start the car. And the other thing that I need to mention on here is that we want to make sure that you have this idle screw off of the choke. We don't want to have the choke engaged, and we don't want to have this screw riding on this little ramp. So basically what you want to do is just make sure that you back it off enough that it is not engaged with this ramp. And just get it so that it touches. Just like that. Okay, so now you know that this screw is not affecting the idle of the engine. You want to control the idle with that volume screw. And then we'll fiddle with the bypass to get it just right. All right, let me go ahead and start the car up and see what we got. All right, so I can't get it to idle. So what we're going to do is we're going to take that volume screw and just give it another half crank out. Okay. A little more fuel. battery in, so we're going to let this out. Smoother, but we need to adjust the idle, right? So let's get the engine so that it's running at about 900 RPM. I'm going to do that with this test meter. Okay, that's currently at about 850 RPM. I'm going to take the volume screw and open it up a little bit further. Okay, so when the volume screw stops adjusting the speed, then you go with the bypass. You need to let this have some more air. We're gonna open that up. Okay, now we're idling at about 1,000 RPM. And so what you're going to end up doing is adjusting the bypass and the volume screw back and forth until you get them balanced to the point where you're idling at 950 RPM. So we're going to slow this down. We're going to tighten up the volume a little bit. Okay, so I adjust the bypass and it started to slow. If I go further, it will slow it even further. But we want to speed up the bypass just until you feel it change. So that's about where that bypass wants to be, right here. There we go, we have it at 950 RPM. This, you can see, is idle, it's moving, this is not touching, it's not on the choke. There's a whole nother video I did on the choke on this. And we've adjusted the volume screw to the point where we got a good idle, and then adjusted the bypass to the point where it would speed up or slow down and just kind of balance. So I mean, if I pull it back out, nothing will happen. But if I tighten it back up, it'll start to slow down. We want that bypass to be balanced. So you fiddle with it until you get to the point where you can feel that it's not going to adjust the speed of the car. And that's it. That is the adjustment of the PICT3 from EMPI. If you have any questions, throw them in the comments section, and I'd be glad to answer them. Cheers.